We're live.
Oh, we're live? Oh, I love starting the show with the two words. We're live? Question mark. Awesome. Hey guys, how are you? It is Tuesday. Yet another beautiful Tuesday. In fact, this week is one of those weeks we're going to go back to again where I curse myself for using hairspray in the 80s because it's going to be like 74 degrees tomorrow. And is it really going to be 74? And last Friday, what? We were huddled up and bundled up. I couldn't feel my toes. I was literally wearing ski socks. Remember?
I can't feel myself now.
I know. That's a little different.
Well, you just came in a little late.
I know.
So.
That was my fault. I know. I showed up literally like 2 minutes ago. But let me tell you why. It was one of those days where everything that could have gone well just, wasn't as well oiled. Stephanie got called to a story late last night. So,
Unlike my great performance with the show yesterday,
which we salvaged, I must say.
You did a great job, not just salvage.
We actually did a decent job with that.
In every difficulty lies opportunity.
I like to challenge myself sometimes and be like, oh, here's a mountain, let me climb it, and there's a wall, let me scale it. But
here's
you know
my
what?
idiot producer.
There's my idiot producer. But this morning was one of those. So Steph left, and the morning is just like a cartoon character, one of those cartoons, and I always say I want to put like GoPros up around the house and then time lapse it, so it's, Quinny gets up and she has a diaper change and she needs a bottle, then Harper gets up and you have to take her pull-up off and put her underwear on and fight to put an outfit on her and fight to put an outfit on Quinn, and then they both want breakfast, and then they both want you to play with them, and they both want the same doll, and this is all morning, and at some point I have to get myself dressed and showered and blow dry my hair and pack my bag and eat something and maybe get some coffee, because then as soon as our nanny, wonderful, beautiful, amazing nanny, who's basically like a third parent at this point, comes in, I'm out the door with Harper. Well, the machine that is relatively well oiled was not as well oiled this morning, and it's because we didn't use extra virgin olive oil. So we missed the first bus, and Harper only wanted to take the M11. She's such a city kid, she doesn't know what a school bus is. She thinks the M11 is her school bus, which is a city bus. Then we had to hail a cab, and I had to fight with someone for the cab, and I used Harper. I'm not going to lie.
Larry's phone says he loves the show, by the way.
Thank you very much. It's not like I hold Harper here, and I'm like, hey, taxi! I literally, hold her up like the Lion King, and I'm like, this child needs transportation! I, hang her out so people could see how desperate I am for the taxi. I'm like, she'll have no education and she gets no transportation. Could you please? So I fought with some guy. I'm like, the kid needs to get, I don't need it. The kid, she's 3. She hasn't eaten in 4 days. I throw that out there. So we finally got a taxi.
She's on our diet.
We just barely made it to school in time. And I always feel, she's got a little cough. She's not contagious. And I know when moms say that, everyone rolls their eyes. I was born with this, I'm a cougher, right? So I sound like a 20-plus year smoker. 45-year-old, 20-plus year smoker when I cough. And of course I'm going to cough. Harper has the same thing. So she's not sick, but she's got a little cough. You don't hear it all morning. Not while I'm getting her ready, not while we're in the taxi by ourselves, not while we're walking down the street by ourselves, not while we're in the elevator. But the second we walked in that school, we're walking through, there's a million people around. Poor kid lets out one of these Hale and Hardy coughs, and it was like the parting of the seas, right? It was like Moses walked into her school and said, I'm here, let everyone part, and they just parted, and I felt so bad for her. She doesn't understand. She's like, look, Mommy, we have space now to walk to the classroom. So she'll soon figure out that if she needs to get to the front of the line in any capacity, let out one of those coughs, Harper, and you're right there. So I dropped her off, and then I'm doing this really cool speaking opportunity. What does that mean? What kind of sentence was that? I'm speaking for the New York Times.
You're doing a really cool speaking opportunity
I'm
at the New
speaking
York
at the New York Times next week.
On linguistics?
No, thank goodness. On the story, as I like to call it. The upbringing leading to the move to the United States, leading to getting bullied a little bit, leading to...
Oh, your story.
My story.
I've heard it before.
You've heard it before, you'll hear it again. That story. I'm not going to mention the trapeze artist in my...
Are you sure you're going to...
In my speech to the New York
Times.
Are
you saying... I think you should open up with... It's very intriguing to be here. Are any of you intrigued?
Her name was Janine. Intriguing name. Yeah. So, ran through that whole conference call as I'm walking down the city streets. And of course, there's always crime when I'm on an important conference call. So I'm like, hi, how are you? Next thing you know, it's like, nah. There's like parades coming down the street. There are sirens and ambulances.
And lions and tigers and bears.
All of it. That finally left. Then I ran to the dentist. We have the most amazing dentist, Steph and myself and all my friends. And we go to a great dentist.
Did you have any cavities?
Nothing. I pride myself on the teeth. Very good, clean. I even had x-rays. Everything was kosher. But my dentist, why is my dentist so good? He and our hygienist, Kathy, have the ability to understand you when you don't have the ability to speak. Do you know, you ever have the dentist that's like, so like, what'd you do yesterday? And now do I answer? Like, do I answer when you obviously can't understand me, or do you want me to wait? Well, I don't know what protocol is.
I found that. I'm finding that right now. I'm in that same position.
Like right this split second?
Are you really talking to me, or?
Oh no, it's all rhetorical.
It's all rhetorical.
Yeah. Anyway, so I said, well, if he asked, I'm going to answer. So I said, well, yesterday, and he says to me, I can't understand you. And I said, why'd you ask the question? Well, what you tell me, put yourself in my mouth and tell me the position.
Whoa.
Bad sentence. Put yourself in my position and tell me what you would do. And so I was looking at my watch the whole time. I knew that Lance would get on me if I didn't get here fast enough.
Yes,
and so
I'm really cracking that whip.
I moved them along as fast as I could, hopped out, came here, and this is where I am. Now, good news, bad news. The good news is I got here on time. The bad news is I didn't really get a chance to eat much. So we are on day what? We're on day 8 or day 9?
Who knows? I still haven't lost a pound.
Maybe you don't want to lose a pound.
I know, but you guaranteed me I was going to lose weight.
I didn't know you were going to eat yourself out of house and home.
I'm eating everything in sight.
Right,
everything,
you're eating really good, healthy food.
I am. Actually, I will say that I feel good. Like, it's amazing what can really, like, how you can sort of, like, my breakfast is like a lox salad.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, well, this morning I had chicken and broccoli. I literally had, like, grilled chicken, and then I steamed
thought you
up
said
some
you didn't
broccoli.
eat.
Well, I ate at 6 a.m.
Oh, that counts.
But I need to eat at 10 before the show starts. What's going to get me through the 4 hours?
Somebody, one second. John from Cherry Hill lost 5 pounds on the Dr. Oz 3-day something diet.
So I will bet that most of that is if you're going to lose 5 pounds in 3 days, a lot of that is water weight, but hopefully you can turn that into something.
Marnie is coming in. It's day 10.
Actually, you would have been proud of me this morning.
Hey,
Marnie.
Hey, Marnie.
Booba woke up.
Booba's your daughter, Alex.
My daughter. She wanted to go to Old McDonald's. So we went to Old McDonald's. And you know what they don't sell at Old McDonald's?
Anything healthy?
No. In the morning, they don't sell French fries. She wanted French fries.
But Lance, I'm going to be very honest with you here. You can't give in to everything a kid wants. Like, a French fry has no redeeming qualities. It's all fat and fried.
I think the French fry is the cigarette of food.
So, but you can't just say, well, she'll have it, it'll make her happy. She's going to have to learn how to understand what the word no means sometimes.
I'm going to tell her tonight that you said that we're not going for French fries at Old McDonald's, even though I promised her French fries at Old McDonald's tonight.
Okay.
Well, I asked her then, can we go across the street to Burger King? She's like, no, Burger King's fries are not as good as McDonald's fries.
Oh, Lance,
so we drove for an hour.
Like,
so we drove for an hour to where I dropped her off at home. She's about to get out of the car, and she's like, "You promised me that we would go to Burger King." I'm like, so I took her to Burger King, and Burger King was closed, and then we went back home.
I mean, you have to understand that feeding your kid French fries because she wants it, and candy, and all the things she wants, and M&Ms, just leads to early onset obesity. I'm just going to tell you, like, eventually, if that's all she's eating, like, she's going to get to be 12, 13 years old, and you're going to be like, ooh, now what? I can't put her on an exercise regimen. She's 12 years old. I can't tell her she's overweight. You're going to have issues. You got to instill, like, a sense of
I do have a son that won a gold medal.
You have what?
I have a son that literally won a gold medal playing basketball. I understand. I get it. Like it's not all or nothing.
Right.
So... Like,
she has to eat something.
She's going to learn to
healthy.
run. She's going to run a marathon.
Absolutely. Hi, lady. How are you?
I'm like, this is so cool.
Okay, so my absolute favorite person in the world just stopped in. We're gonna have a great time with her. She's amazing. Do you want to start with Jen, just to say hello to some people?
Let's jump.
So I'll finish
the
up
story
real quick.
and then
Anyway, so that brings me to right this second, where I literally sat down 5 seconds ago. And you turn on the TV and they're like, oh, it's going to be a cold one this morning, then it'll get warmer. You know how meteorologists are. Whack jobs. Anyway, so I dressed the part. I wore 1 layer, and then 2 layers, and then I wore a sweater, then I wore a jacket, and then I wore a scarf. And the better part of my morning was walking down the street, literally undressing. I was like a walking, pole dancing, undressing freak walking down the street. As each layer, I would curse another weather report that I heard because you just can't no, I'm just kidding. So let me just tell you about my good friend who just stopped by. A couple years ago, I was doing Weekend Today, and the meteorologist on the show, we had a rotating cast of characters. Like, the anchors rotated, the meteorologist rotated, the news person rotated. It was literally like, it was musical chairs at the Today Show. The only mainstay was basically Lester, and he, at any given moment, never knew who he was sitting next to. It was always fun. Guess the female host. Janice Huff walks into, you don't even know this story. Janice Huff walks into the hair and makeup room, and I was like, and I said to this guy, Freddie, who was doing our hair, I was like, that's Janice Huff. And he's like, yes, I know. I'm well aware, like, we know who it is. I'm like, Channel 4, that's Janice Huff. And he's like, yes, I know, that's Janice Huff. I'm like, keep it down, keep it down. So, it didn't matter. Like, when you play with the network characters, you play with the network characters. And if you play with, but I grew up watching, and I spent my time working at another
Channel
station
4's carried in Haiti?
What's that?
Channel 4 is in Haiti?
No, I don't want to say grew up. I meant, when I say grew up, I mean I grew up in the affiliate world.
Oh, okay.
Watching Janice Huff, because you always want to get to New York.
I've only been watching the Jenna Wolf show.
So that's all you know. That being said, I found out that she's one of the funniest and the most engaging and the most approachable people and accessible people you'll ever meet. That being said, it took her like 8.5 weeks to come sit down next to me, so not that approachable. She was like, please talk to my people. I'm just kidding. But we had a good time, and life was really funny and fun, and we're going to sit down and we're going to chat with her in a second. Is there anyone that is pressing?
No, we're going to go.
We'll go into Janice and then get into it afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Come on over here, Janice. Yeah, it's so easy and fun. And do you want to break and reset?
Yeah, we're going to stop here.
These guys live right here.